Welcome to Sip No Tech. I'm Alex. How you doing? We have another 1 week with that particular update video. Seems like you guys really like the series, so we're going to keep doing it. And I'm a little more invested in this phone right now because this is my daily driver. We're talking about none other than the Honor 8, the Huawei Honor 8. I reviewed this last year, and I actually really like the phone, but I like it even more now after the review period. For some reason, it really grew on me. I really like this phone now, and it is my daily driver. So we got EMUI 4 upgraded to EMUI 5. We have Android Nougat on here now. What are the differences? Is it a better experience? Is it a worse experience? We're going to take a look at it right now. So, as per usual, the first thing we do in these types of videos is to confirm we are indeed running that particular update that we're talking about. As you can see, about phone, we have EMUI, which is the choice of skin from Huawei. And we have the EMUI version 5.0 right there. So we upgraded from 4.1, I think, to 5.0. And we are running Android version 7.0 Nougat. Oh, actually, we didn't do the cat thing yet, too. So we can do the cat thing here. Did we do the cat thing? I guess we did do the cat thing. But anyway, we do have Nougat, as you can see here. It's all updated. Everything is good. So with Nougat, the first thing we need to talk about, of course, is the default stock Android Nougat features, which, for example, we have something like this. We have dual window, right? So split screen was something that was very important in this update. And as you can see, we now have that feature native to the Honor 8. So exactly what you could do on the Nexuses or the Pixel or any Nougat phone you can do right now. Split screen, pretty cool. Pretty neat. I'm excited. You just double tap again to click something else. Scroll up, scroll down, and I think you can double. If you press the home button, right, it takes you back out there. You can always close it out or re-stretch it out again to do what you need to do. So we have that there. So another one of these stock Android 7.0 changes is the settings menu. So if you click on the settings menu, you see we can pull to the side and we have a settings home bar. You can access that from any part of the settings. We can click on memory and storage and you can swipe up from the side. I said in the Nexus update video, on Nexus 5X update video, that I don't really use that often. I still don't use that very often, but I do like how that's a stock feature now and you have the option to use that. Another big aesthetic change is in the recent apps, where if you click on the recent apps, now we have a more carousel-like stock Android feel, which I actually really like. Beforehand, on EMUI 4, we had a horizontal scrolling one, similar to iOS, where you have to swipe up or down to get rid of. Now, this carousel one feels more like a stock Android feel. You swipe right to get rid of, swipe left to delete, and they have a delete all button. So really cool that they switched it to something similar to stock. Another big change we got was from the drop-down menu, and this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest changes to this particular update that I was looking forward to the most, and that was this drop-down right here. So as you can see, when we drop down now, we actually get a more stock-like feel. We have your notifications here, and if you swipe down again, you have your full toggles for all your quick settings, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, etc. So before, if you remember what it was like in EMUI 4, you had a drop-down, but the drop-down had a notification and a settings with a bar in between, so you have to actually manually click which one you want to go to, or you have to do that smart settings, which sometimes is not as smart. So now you can actually use your swipe down, your fingerprint gesture, and you can actually bring it down. So it's pretty neat. You can bring it down, you bring it up. I did have some issues with this, actually. It's before, the fingerprint gesture was perfect, the swipe down. But for some reason now, if I was like in Chrome or something and I would bring it down, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it would not recognize bringing the swipe motion down or swipe up. So it seems to be working better these last couple days, but early on when I first got this update, it for some reason was a little buggy there. So regardless of that, I do think this is one of the biggest changes, and one of my biggest complaints, once again, during my review period, was the settings menu and this being too big of a departure from stock Android and how Android should be. And I'm really happy to say that even though this is still a little different, it's so much better, and I really like this experience right here. One other minor change that might be beneficial to some of you out there is on the lock screen. For those of you who like the lock screen and the notifications of the lock screen, you can now swipe down to see your quick settings menu. So that's kind of neat. We didn't have that before. Going back to what I said earlier about how Huawei not only caters to their Chinese audience, which is the main audience, but now they're starting to kind of like listen to the Western audience, which is kind of nice. It makes us feel like we're not left out and they actually care about our business. They changed the home launcher for us for EMUI 5. Before, there was no app drawer. Like most of their phones, there was no app drawer because the Eastern audience, that's a common perception not to have an app drawer. It's very iOS-like. We don't have that here. We actually have an app drawer. EMUI 5.0 actually brings an app drawer option to be enabled for you to have an app drawer on the default launcher. So the EMUI launcher by default now has a app drawer, which is very nice of Huawei to do. And I'm really glad OEMs are starting to listen and actually basically change their phones and their ways to cater towards a specific amount of buyers who like certain aspects of a phone that they're looking for. But not everything is perfect on this update. There is one major issue I came across, and that is with the Android messaging app. So before it was called Google Messenger, but now they changed the name to Android Messages. So Android Messages, it's, in my opinion, one of the best SMS, MMS apps because it is made by Google and it's fairly clean. I really like it, right? But the problem here is after the update to EMUI 5.0, you see this right here. We have unknown sender, unknown sender. It's bad. It's bad. I have no idea what's going on here. I think it has something to do with the APNs, but I kept trying to figure it out, and I've been Google searching and trying to find results. It seems like some other people are also having this issue on the Honor 8, but it originally started right after I updated to 5.0, and it was only for MMSs. So MMSs, I could not distinguish the difference between other different people. It would say unknown sender, unknown sender, unknown sender. But recently, as you can see here, every single message comes from an unknown sender, even if they are in my contacts. However, this is not a messaging thing, as in default messenger, as you can see here. It seems fine. Like it distinguishes it between all the people too. So it's something to do with the Google Messenger, and unfortunately, I really do like the Google Messenger, or the it's called Android Messages now. So Android Messages no longer works on EMUI 5.0 on the Honor 8 for me, and until I find a fix, I can't use this. I have to use the default messenger, or of course like Textra. Textra works fine too. Of course, you have to pay for Textra to get rid of the ads. So I'm using the default one until the Android messages get fixed. And if you guys know how to fix this, please leave me a message or comment below, because I do want to figure out what to do with this. Otherwise, I will post on Twitter once I figure out how this works, how to fix this. And be sure to subscribe to us or follow us on Twitter so you can see that solution whenever I do come across it. And from what I've noticed on battery life post 5.0 or EMUI 5.0, battery life has been really good. It's been more of the same. I haven't had much issue with the battery here. As you can see, let's pull up the battery notification stuff. We still have all the ultra saving modes and all that good stuff, but the battery has been really solid, and that's mostly because Huawei is very aggressive with their background apps management. So their power management is very, very good here on this phone. It might be to a fault because it is really annoying at times, but I'm still averaging some really good battery life here. More of the same. I actually really didn't notice much of a difference, which is a very good thing in this case because I was getting really good numbers prior to this update on the previous version of EMUI, and I'm getting more of the same right now. So I'm very happy to say that the battery life is still as good as it was before, if not better. So no problems there. I'm getting about like 5, 6, sometimes even 7 hours of screen on time, depending on my use on that particular day. But yeah, I'm getting easily past 12 hours. I'm getting 14 hours sometimes, 16 hours on a day. it's just superb. So yeah, more of the same with the battery life. I'm very, very happy with the battery life. Overall, I have to say, this is actually a really good update. The Honor 8 was a pretty darn good phone in 2016. The only two things I really complained about previously in my review was the settings menu being, they just moved around too much stuff and I didn't like the way it looked. And the drop-down. I think the drop-down was the most annoying part, especially since you have fingerprint gestures and you have to double-click to get to where you want it to go because they separated it. They separated the options. I didn't like that. And the fact that this thing changed, EMUI 5.0 changed that to make it more stock-like, it really meant that a lot of people either didn't like that, and Huawei actually changed it to cater towards people's taste. And that's rarely a thing that happens where a big time company like that actually changes their own preference to match their consumer base. So it makes us really happy as consumers that these guys here actually listen to us and kind of care about our opinions. And everything else, performance, battery, everything is like exactly the same. I really didn't notice much of a different performance or any hits or anything. Performance has still been as good as it was before, which is a very, very good thing. So more of the same, but with improvements to the UI, makes this a very good update in my opinion. And I really, 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 really like this right now. This is one of my favorite phones at the moment. My name is Alex from Sentinel Tech. Tell me what you think of the Honor 8 and the update to EMUI 5.0. Did you guys have a good update? Is your phone operating correctly? And I'll see you guys next time.
If you liked the video, be sure to comment, subscribe, and like. If you didn't like the video, well, you should still subscribe because I'm 100% sure that you're gonna like the content that we produce in the future. Until next time.